Hello everyone, my name is MOHAMAD EIJAZ MOKHTAR, the holder number of matric 2200841. Today, I will present to all of you my research proposal. My title is Social Media as a Tool to Spread Racism and Stereotypes Among High Schoolers. This presentation will consist of 4 chapters, which are Chapter 1. In Chapter 1, will containing about 6 subtopics, which is Introduction, Background of Study, Problem Statement, Research Objective, Research Question, Definition of Critical Terms, and last but not least is Research Scope. Next is Chapter 2, which is Literature Review, where in this section we will discuss about racism in high schoolers, youth and smartphones, Malaysia's context, and theoretical framework. While in Chapter 3, we will discuss about research design, population and sampling, data of collection, and data analysis. So the last chapter is the conclusion and references. First of all, we will start with Chapter 1. A little bit of introduction. Social media have been celebrated of their benefits, such as to strengthen and maintain familiar and social relationships, as well as to enhance education quality and improve information sharing. Nonetheless, it was also criticized as a cause of a number of detrimental effects, among others, addiction and distraction caused by smartphone usage, cyberbullying and exposure to explicit contents. With rapid technological advancement, from a mere mobile communication device, smartphones have transformed into a multi-purpose medium with progressively improved features, while it features multiple functions and latest application. And now we will proceed to background of study. Social media has transformed into multi-purpose medium with progressively improved features. Past studies show that social media are an essential tool in strengthening and maintaining familiar and social relationships, including romantic relationships. This research investigates the issue of social media role in upholding or challenging the harmonious relationship between Malaysians, especially among high schoolers, where the racism and stereotypes are being spreading widely. Now, let's go to the next subtopic, which is problem statement. This paper problem statement is due to racism is a terrible reality in our world, with historical origins and saturate college campuses and the work of student affairs professionals just as much as they do elsewhere, where racism and stereotypes are affecting high schoolers in Malaysia. Next is the research objective, where there are 3 objectives. First of all, to study the level awareness of high schoolers of the misuse on social media. Second, to investigate why hatred can easily be spread. And lastly, is to identify how effective social media is in combating the issue of racism in Malaysia. Next subtopic is research question, where research question is based on the research objective. First question is, what is the awareness of social media misuse among high schoolers? Second, what are the reasons hatred can be spread easily? And finally, how effective social media in combating the issue of racism in Malaysia? For this research paper, there are 2 critical terms that we need to understand. First is racism. Racism is the irrational idea that a specific race is gifted with different cultural qualities as a result of hereditary elements that make individual races intrinsically superior to others and allow them to exploit inferior races. And next is stereotypes. A stereotype is an oversimplification of a group or community of a people's belief. It is not just a preconceived concept about a specific practice, but also a level of expectation from its members. These expectations are based on their attitude and personality, as well as a certain belief. And last but not least, for chapter 1 is research scope. This study was conducted to study the level of awareness of high schoolers of the misuse on social media, investigate why hatred can easily be spread, and to identify how effective social media in combating the issue of racism in Malaysia. The data will consist of around 35 respondents that will be collected from 1st to 3rd year high schoolers. Now we will proceed to the next chapter, which is chapter 2, literature review. First of all, we will talk about racism and high schoolers. The issue of racism among students is no stranger to what we hear. This has become a common thing for them, where the use of their language or behavior that they mention, or they consciously or unconsciously carries the meaning of racism itself. This will most likely hurt the hearts of others. In other words, racist stigma among students has been practiced directly or indirectly. Next is youth and smartphone. The current youth, also known as the digital native, have grown up with smartphones. They are commonly regarded as the most enthusiastic and intensive users of new technologies, as they are quick to adopt, creative as well as flexible users, and are ubiquitously connected to the world. Next, we will talk about Malaysia context. In order to understand the impact of smartphone usage, specifically among Malaysian youth, it is pertinent to recognize the context that the given study is focusing on. Malaysia is located in Southeast Asia. The federal constitution monarchy consists of 13 states and 3 federal territories, separated by the South China Sea into 2 regions, Peninsula of Malaysia and Borneo East Malaysia. According to the Internet World Statistic Data Report in 2016, it indicates that Malaysia's mobile penetration rate was one of the highest in Southeast Asia, at 71% subscribers in total. Indeed, this figure continues to rise, and there is widespread usage of smartphone, particularly among young Malaysians, just as in any other country. And finally is the theoretical framework. This research are using user and gratification theory. What is user and gratification theory? User and gratification theory is focused on the media consumer rather than the media itself or the message the media conveys, while other theories see people as passive recipients of media message. User and gratification sees people as active consumers of media who are aware of the reason they choose to consume media. A cornerstone of user and gratification is that audience are active in choosing the media they consume. Lastly is chapter 3, which is methodology. First of all, we will talk about research design. In general, this study used the quantitative method, which involves questions on racism and stereotypes among high schoolers, which contains various types of students which come from different backgrounds. Second is population and sampling. This study took the total number of students in the subject of social science, which is, to be specific, language and cross-cultural communication at the National Defence University of Malaysia, NDUM. Next is data of collection. What is data of collection? Data of collection is the act of obtaining, measuring, analyzing relevant data from a range of relevant sources in order to find answers to study problems, answer questions, evaluate outcomes, and forecast trends, and probability is known as data collection. Some questions related to respondents' demographic were also included in this questionnaire, including gender, education level, and also their family background. And finally, for chapter 3, we will talk about data analysis. In this chapter, the researcher focus on how to interpret and analyze the data that has been obtained. This research uses statistical package for social science, or better known as SPSS version. According to Fadila and Hanafi 2017, this statistical package is very user-friendly and various tests could be conducted using this software. So this is my list of references that I use for my proposal. So this is all for my research proposal video presentation. I hope all of you enjoy my video presentation. Thank you and have a nice day everyone. Assalamualaikum.